Thank you so much, my friend. What a joy it is to play together and to work over that together. It's just, we have to be pinched every day. God has blessed us so tremendously because we played, at the end of the day, we played a childhood game. We used to play touch on the street, tackle on the grass. It's that same game in the backyard, but I'm so grateful to be with Brad and to be here with you all tonight. I'll start by just saying how tremendous this honor is, and thanks Steve back and Doc Walker and the whole team. The leadership, the Touchdown Club, the Military Bowl Foundation, everybody who has been a part of this. Steve, I think in my opinion that you are a great asset to our region. How about giving Steve a big hand for that? You don't have to do the same for Doc Walker. He won't be able to handle it, but I want to just say that Doc Walker has just been a great friend. I've just been a role model from day one. A lot of people don't know he and I were track runners. You know, he never could really beat me, but he was an Olympian. We used to train for the Olympics, and you guys have to ask him about that at some point. I think that you want to, don't let me try to tell it. Doc will tell you guys. Get him one night and just say, Doc, tell me about it. Doc, are you in here? Will you tell these guys? Yeah, just get with them. Get with everybody. Let me take a minute and just acknowledge all the recipients tonight. Vern, I was wishing that it was over when you finished. I was like, man, this is it. Vern is he's just so great, man. Thank you so much for all that you've done. Another Texas homeboy, and just great to be with you. I know you called so many great games, and I guess you said I was in that one game, but you was doing radio at that time. But it's just great to be with you, a legend here on our stage, here in our city. A great gentleman, a great friend. God bless you, my friend. I want to acknowledge everybody. I want to just acknowledge and congratulate Coach Wooten. Man, soon you come here 35 years ago for me, and you hear that name. You hear that name, and that's just a quality human being, an inspiration to everyone. We need more people like that in our society. And I'm just grateful to be a part of something that he's a part of tonight as well. And I know he's not here. I was fortunate enough to have my son and daughter play under his son over at Bishop O'Connell. And so I don't know him, but I know him. And so I'm so grateful for that. I would just say that his coaching accomplishments, as they are known throughout the world, but I think that this man's integrity will be known for eternity. And I'm just glad, again, to be a part of a place that he was involved in tonight. Coach Verbanik, my son and daughter also went to Flint Hill. My kids went to all these schools, man. Flint Hill, I had a couple of them at Flint Hill. And I just think that it's a great commitment. It's a great sacrifice. It's a great dedication for coaching. I've never really wanted to be a coach. I have my reasons for that, but I still appreciate the profession. I appreciate the mentoring. I appreciate, particularly at the high school level. In my opinion, you said you loved it, but in my opinion, I think it's much harder today to coach. You said opposite, and I respect that, but I think it's much harder today. I was a kid because what we face in our society, it was a lot easier back when I was a kid because if you talk back at school, you talk back to the coach, they took care of you right there. And then they call home and you got taken care of again. The problem is if you call home, he probably won't be at practice tomorrow either, though. But so again, congratulations to you, Coach, for the work that you've done and you're doing here in our community. It's much needed. It's much needed. And let me say to all of our young men who have had these outstanding careers in the academics as well as in your athletics, congratulations to all of you. You're as you move on to college, Taylor and Tremont and DeMarcus. I'll just tell you guys, continue to heed the advice of your parents. I find that my parents are both gone, but man, if you just do what they say do, it works. It works. It really does. Clap for your parents. Doc, it just worked. Mama said, you know how hard-headed we are, but when you step back, you say, dadgummit. Yes, magical, yes. You know, when your kids come back from school, they say from college, they say, man, we done jumped up 3 notches of knowledge. We become so much more smart. But I'm just so grateful. But take the advice of your parents, your teachers, your mentors, and your coaches. You'll be just fine. Continue to work hard. Continue to make us proud. But most importantly, I would say to you, as what I was able to do, find out who created you. You know, it's no secret for me, I've been a Christian my whole life as an adult, and I followed those principles. And I played football, I was a dad, I did all these things, but I followed certain principles. And it reminds me many times of the idea of, say, these lights in here. They're 30-watt lights, and they illuminate this room at 30 watts for about 1,500 hours, and then they blow out. You know, there's a story in the Bible where it says that David carried out the purpose of God in his generation, then he died. And I used to think about that all the time. And I would just say to everybody, don't get nervous if you haven't carried out the purpose of God in your life, because it's a simple thing. Just don't die. Because you have to do it. And I'm so glad that I found that out. That even as a football player, people were screaming my name and all this stuff. There was something greater, and there is something greater as life goes on, that it's important that we all get figured out. You know, I'll tell you a quick story. I finished up my high school career. I played 1 year JV in 11th grade. I finished up my senior year on the varsity, and we played against Dexter Manley School, matter of fact, in Houston. And so I had 2 years of high school on the JV and the varsity, and then I found myself preparing to go as a walk-on to Texas A&I University down in Kingsville, Texas, down at the old King Ranch. Some of you are familiar with that. And Texas A&I University was an NAIA school. It's a small school, and I didn't have a scholarship. I'd never even heard of the school. I didn't know where the school was. Texas, it turned out to be about 5 hours south of our house in Houston. I didn't know, no scholarship. I didn't know who was there. If they had seniors, juniors. I don't know who they play. I don't know what the competition is going to be. I don't really know anything. I'm just a nobody, a little fella about 145 pounds, just played 1 year varsity, and this coach is going to give me a chance to play, and I'm excited. And I came up with a concept, and I would say to you young people, it was something that I call the right now moment. Because when you're in that situation, Mike, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know who's there. They're not paying me to come. They're not really expecting much of me. But I was thinking maybe at some point, maybe it would be the 5th game, the 3rd play in the 4th quarter. Maybe it'd be the 6th game, the 2nd play of the 2nd quarter. Maybe it'd be the 8th game. Maybe somewhere, maybe at practice. At one point, maybe the coach would say, hey, what's that kid's name? Yeah, Green, you're in. That would be right now. Because they're always, right now is always. If you call my name, that would be right now. So I created this concept that, hey, I'm going to just train in such a way, with an attitude, with a mental thought, with a commitment, that I'm going to be prepared for the right now moment. He dictates the moment, but I will be prepared for that moment. And finally, they called my name. And I was in the NFL after 3 years of starting in that little small school. And I played 20 years and started about 19 years when they called my name in Washington. And it was an incredible privilege to have an idea, a way, a belief, a concept. And it's not unlike the idea of wanting to be married. My parents were divorced when I was 10. And I had a big idea. My dad didn't know his dad. My parents are divorced, all these issues. I thought, wow, you know, if I get a chance to do that, I'm just 10 years old, I thought this. If I get a chance to do that, I'd like to do it at an excellent level. So I've been married 34 faithful years to one woman. And that's important to me. I played for one team for 20 years when I was a free agent on several occasions. But the way I think about it, I wasn't playing for the money. I wanted to provide for my family. I was trying to make sure that I was carrying out the purpose of God in my lifetime. And sometimes that isn't to make the most money. That isn't to be the most celebrated. That isn't to be this or that. That is to humble yourself and find the purpose of God and, man, go after it. To be ready for the right now moment. To be ready in season and out of season. To be able to deliver when the time comes, in your house first, in your community. And so it's been such an incredible privilege for me and to be in this city, to be in this community, to be here with all of the folks who are here. I was thinking about the fact that, Mr. Haskins, I'm going to be at the Super Bowl, should I say, in Nashville this weekend, or next weekend. I'm going to be there. I will be acknowledging or pronouncing the Redskins' second pick. Now, you won't be at that pick. I won't be calling your name. But I just consider it a privilege to have had the opportunity to be a part of, as a Washingtonian. She was born and raised here, and I met her my rookie year. And it's just been such a joy to be a part of this community. And Haskins, congratulations to you. You are coming from a little further up north, but thank you for coming to us. And it's our privilege, and particularly for me, to meet your family tonight. Congratulations to you guys as well. It is indeed a joy to join this wonderful group of individuals in this Founders Club. The interesting thing that my good friend Zach found out for me, Zach Bono, he's with us over at George Mason University, one of our deputy athletic directors, and he said, Darrell, did you know that there was no defensive players in this lineup? He said Mike Ditka, he said Jim Kelly, Doug Williams, even Under Armour, and Kevin Plank, who someone said could have been another Steve Tasker, Rick. I don't know that, but they said he might have been a Steve Tasker, but Steve Tasker was the truth, okay? But it gives me great honor to be what I guess I'm the first defensive player. I don't know what the bias is in that, but I'll take that. You guys can discuss that in the committee.
Well, it's to not omit any group, and although you are less privileged than
I appreciate that. That's a good answer. Good answer. I'm truly honored, sir. I'm truly honored to represent the defensive side of the ball. Haskins, you know, I thought about you again as coming back to you. You know, you can sling that rock, but hopefully, you understand the importance, and hopefully you'll have a great defense on your team that will really help you guys as glamour guys win championships. Folks, football has been such a wonderful experience. It has brought such wonderful personal and professional opportunities to me. It gives you the ability to, or should I say, it gives you the responsibility as much as it gives you this access and this influence, as I talked about at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I talked about the access and the influence and the resource that it gives me, but I also talk about the responsibility, the grave responsibility to reach out and touch other people. And, you know, trust me, I don't need and or want any more awards. I'm not concerned about awards. But when you look at what this organization is doing, when you look at Patriots Point, when you look at those men and women, this is what that foolishness of the childhood game gives us, the ability, for me, serving thousands of young people around the United States. But I have 2 national organizations that serve young people and older people alike because I played that childhood game for 20 years. It's such a marvelous thing for all of you to come and gather around on behalf of some people most of you don't even know that we saw in that footage. Those men and women that travel way across this world to give us the freedom. You remember when we were playing, Rick, I think you may have been gone, but when the war broke out, we used to go up under the plane and they put wristbands on us. And remember when you used to meet Grandma at the airport waiting at the gate? Guys of America, all of that stuff takes place because of men and women like that are doing that. That's when I get serious. That's when I get serious. That's when I think we have a real important job to do. So to that end, this award is not, I'm not so much into awards, but to stand up here in front of you today because of the cause and the purpose for which you are here, I want to say to you, not as much thank you for the award, but thank you for what you do every day in making this world better. And if we all will continue to do that together, you know, they said making America great. I think we can make the world great, but it starts with each one of us as an individual thinking about the right now moment. And when is that moment when it's time for you to jump into the game? So with that said, thank you guys. Appreciate that.